everybody. Hello, Africa. Welcome to Success Talk with Norma TV. Today I'm with Sandra Areka. Sandra actually introduces herself better than I. So, Sandra, can you just shoot?
All right. My name is Sandra Areka. I'm a professional counselor. I'm a motivational speaker, an author, and an events planner. And I'm glad to be here, Miss Gaba.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sandra. So, today the topic that we're discussing is living single purposefully. But it's not that we're saying do not get married. We're saying it's okay. Marriage will come if it hasn't come. Okay. But don't get obsessed with it. You will get married someday if that is your desire, because God grants you the desires of your heart. But we are saying, we are discussing, should you pursue purpose or be desperate to get married? That is what we are discussing today. No holds barred, Sandra. So first of all, just tell us about purpose. What is purpose?
Okay. So, purpose is the reason for something, it's the why. It's finding out why God created you. Why did God create you? And then once you find out that purpose, you begin to live in that purpose. And then you're now living your purposeful life.
Okay. So would you say you are living a purposeful life, Sandra, yourself right now?
Yes, I would say that because I've discovered what God has created me to do, and I'm doing it. And by doing it, I feel fulfilled as a single person because I know the reason God created me. And not after knowing that, I'm actually now actioning it and doing it. So I feel very happy.
Okay, so how did you discover your purpose?
That's a journey.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Okay, relax. Don't actually look at the camera. It's looking
Okay.
at you. That's
All
what
right.
matters. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So how did you find your purpose, Sandra?
I think it was something that came from a lot of other life lessons.
Yes.
So before I knew my purpose, I can say I was just a scatterbrain. I was everywhere.
Yes.
So I would do this, meet someone who's doing something else. I'm now doing that thing as well.
Yes.
Meet someone with a different line of thought. I'm also now doing that. I wasn't focused. I didn't exactly know
So how
why.
did you get yourself to focus? Yeah.
So I got to a point where I was frustrated and I said, no, I mean, God created me for something.
Yes.
What is it? So I spent time in prayer, just talking to God. And the thing that I discovered was I was very good at listening to people.
Yes.
And people would always come to me and tell me about their problems or their challenges and ask for advice.
Yes.
So I'll just do that naturally. And God then spoke to me and said, you should pursue this,
Yes.
because when you got to your rock bottom moment and you're
Yes.
frustrated,
Yes.
what did you really want the most in life? I said, actually, I wanted someone to listen to me.
Yes.
And it's not that people were not there to listen.
Yes.
People were there. But the moment you get to someone and you say, oh, Norma, do you know what? I'm feeling frustrated. Norma is going to start quoting scriptures or praying for you
Yes.
or thinking there's something wrong with you. But
Yes.
you just want to vent. You just
Okay.
want to talk. And you
Mhm.
just want someone to just listen.
Okay.
That's it. So when God started revealing that to me, I discovered, well, so many people come and I just listen to them. And after that, they'll come back maybe a few weeks later and say, you know what, that day when I just came and I spoke to you, I was actually going through this and this. And
Okay.
just from you listening and maybe you gave me advice or what, I came up with a solution. I'm now doing this business or my relationship or my marriage or my kids, things are going well. And
Okay.
for me, it was like a light bulb
A light bulb
moment.
moment for
Yes.
you, and
And I said, okay, if this is what God wants me to do, let me go back to school, study
yes.
more about it, and then
Mhm.
be able to help other people. And by helping other people, I feel fulfilled. That is the reason God created me, and I'm living my purpose.
Yes. So Sandra actually went back to school and started counseling.
Yeah.
4 years, a
Yes.
whole 4 years.
Yes.
So now she's a professional counselor
Mhm.
with her credentials. So
Yeah.
now people come and she listens to them
Mhm.
for a fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good.
That is good.
Okay, so which is spoken about purpose. So let's go to the desire to get married thing. Okay,
Yes.
so I did tell you this is a no holds barred. And Sandra did say before she had found her purpose, she used to just follow anyone, whoever they are going. So Sandra met me when I was going to the mountain to pray for marriage,
And I followed it.
and she followed me. So Sandra and I got, and other girls, we got to, we had this ritual of every Saturday we were at Hillside Dams praying for marriage. And okay, so the happy ending here is that you are still single. Okay, so tell me about pursuing marriage.
Oh, no, ma,
In
that's very
in
good.
such a desperate manner, because I am now at peace with everything.
Yes.
I remember fasting and praying for marriage for 3 days, a dry fast. And when I came back from the mountains, yeah, my throat was dry.
Oh,
No, it wasn't dry. It was closed. Because when I tried to eat an orange, I screamed until it opened. Yes, so that's my happy ending with praying and fasting for marriage.
yeah.
Yes, so Sandra, tell us about that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What's up with
I'm
that?
sorry about the orange thing. No.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's good to fast. It's good to pray for marriage, and yes, please go ahead. I believe in prayer. I believe in fasting, but I think for single women, especially Christian women, sometimes we make marriage to be the ultimate goal. As in, if you don't get married, then you've missed your
Is it just
purpose.
Christian women or just African women, really?
I think it's our culture as
Yes,
Africans. Yes,
yeah,
our
yeah.
culture as Africans is that marriage is the goal. And if you don't get married, then you've missed God's best for you. But what I've discovered, and as I'm going in more into purpose, I've discovered that there are so many people who are married and enduring marriage and are so miserable because they got into marriage not knowing their purpose. They didn't know why God created them, so they just found someone else who also didn't know why God created them, and they got married. And they wake up a year later, they're like, I don't know this person. What are we doing? And I mean, if you look at it, imagine you don't know your purpose. Like what I was telling Norma, that I just used to follow people anyway. So imagine
Yeah.
I'm going to Botswana, I'm driving to Botswana, and I meet Norma at the fuel station, and she's going to South Africa.
Yes.
And we suddenly become friends. And I say, Norma, I'll follow you. So
Yes.
we're driving. She's driving from Bulawayo and she's going to South Africa.
Yes.
And I follow her up to Beitbridge.
Mhm.
Then she says, okay, since you're going to Botswana, let me accompany you as well. Then
Yes.
she comes back. Now I'm back to Plumtree. And we're just going up and down. We're not making progress. It's because you won't be having a purpose. So you just
Okay.
follow anyone.
So it's important to have a
It's
purpose
important
as a single woman,
as a single
and
woman.
you should pursue purpose and not marriage. Not that you are saying don't get married.
Yes,
If
definitely.
marriage comes, it comes. Okay.
Yes, yes,
And if you pray for it, it will come.
yes,
Because
definitely.
God does say that whatever you ask, He will give it to you if you are praying in faith.
And that's
Right.
true. I like the part about praying to get your purpose. Because imagine as a single woman, let's just say you're talented, you're a talented singer, and you can sing, and you can actually make so much money singing. And then you get these two guys who come and propose to you. One is probably a sporty guy. He just loves soccer. He's so much into soccer. And the other guy loves singing. If you know your purpose, do you know what? You align to the guy who loves music, because you know what? He's going to be your manager, he's going to be your producer. So many times people don't find out their purpose and they get married to someone who is not going to align them or bring out the best. You can even imagine, let's say you're a single woman, you get married to someone who's a pastor and you don't want to be a pastor's wife. What's going to happen? But the moment you discover your purpose, even your gifts, let's say you love business and you've got 2 or 3 guys who are coming after you and asking you to marry them, you already know that if this guy loves business, probably this is the guy that they are all
Okay.
Christians, but
Okay.
it helps
Okay.
you. Yeah.
So moving on.
Yes.
So what you are saying is that you should marry someone who's doing a similar thing as you. Is that purpose? Or why can't a pastor marry an actress? A pastor can marry an actress.
No, you can marry anyone, yeah. But I'm saying, what purpose does for you? It aligns you to someone who has the same vision. And we know that once you have a vision, it's easy for you to achieve your goal. So most times, once you don't know your vision and you don't know your purpose, you can just be aligned to someone that probably doesn't share the same vision with you, and you're going to get frustrated. And the Bible is actually clear, and it says, don't be equally unyoked to unbelievers. That's already showing you that you need to have the same vision. So
Okay,
even with
by the
someone,
same vision, it's what do you mean the same vision?
so like what you're saying, like you're saying a pastor can't marry an
No,
actress.
I was
Just an
asking you. I was
example.
just asking
No,
you.
I was saying, because I was just using it as an example. Like, if you are planning to get married and you've got 2 guys who are asking you out, it
Okay,
would
so
be easy for you to know
okay,
someone who
okay.
already has the same passion.
So I'm actually trying to get away from that.
Uh-huh.
You are actually pursuing a purpose so that you get married. I'm just saying,
No,
let's go back
no,
to
no.
purpose. Let's say there are no 2 guys asking you.
Yes, and you are
So
an
why should you,
actress.
whatever you want to
Okay.
be, can you just pursue your purpose without any 2 guys interrupting you about getting married?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely,
So
Noma.
let's
Yeah,
just follow that line. That
I think
you have your independent
purpose,
purpose, and
definitely.
you need someone with their own independent purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But because as long as you are, do you think that if you are walking in purpose,
Mm-hmm.
you are now walking in God's plan for your life, the right person will come along. You actually don't have to
Definitely,
go out looking
definitely,
for him.
definitely. Because the Bible
You
says,
don't have to go out
walk
fasting for
together?
him.
Can two walk together
Yeah,
unless they are in
yeah,
agreement?
yeah.
So the moment you're walking in your purpose, you actually begin to attract people who are also walking in their purpose.
Yes.
That's easy
So
because you're doing what you already love. And the moment you walk in purpose, you just become radiant, you become happy, and you can actually tell that this person is inner peace. And the peace is not coming because the person is trying to do different things, but
yes,
it's coming from within. It's just their being.
yes.
Yes, it's just like when someone is peaceful. It's not
Mm-hmm.
because they've got a bank account with a fat lump sum of money, but it's
Yes.
because of what's in their heart.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just talk to this single African woman.
Yes.
She's in her late 30s, 40s,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still praying and fasting for marriage. What
Mm.
advice are you giving to her? She has
Ah,
not given any thought to purpose. Actually, she's living a purposeless life. She actually thinks that getting married will bring her happiness.
okay.
What can you advise such a woman?
I think the first thing I'd say, find out who you are. Find out why God created you. What's your reason for being on this earth? That's the most important question. Because on Judgment Day, God is going to ask you and say, what did you do with the life that I gave you? And to be honest, marriage is not for everyone, and singleness is not for everyone. So for you, maybe your purpose might involve marriage, and that's good. In as much as you are praying and
Okay,
fasting for your
okay,
marriage,
okay,
also pray and fast for
okay.
your purpose. Yeah,
Just hold
slow
up
down.
there.
Okay.
Okay, marriage is not purpose.
Yes.
Marriage is just marriage.
Mhm.
People living in purpose can either get married or not get married,
That is true.
depending on whether they want to or not.
That is
But there's
true.
no one who is born to get married.
Because when you
God
look at
does not
Paul,
plant people on this earth just to get married. So
yes,
marriage is not a purpose.
yes,
So
because
are we agreeing on that one?
yeah, because I'm saying,
Yeah,
look at Paul.
yeah.
Paul
He
achieved
made
his,
a choice.
but
Yes,
he achieved his
yes,
purpose as a
mm-hmm.
single what person.
Yes.
Yes,
So that's okay. I'm in
that's
agreement
okay.
with that.
But then for others, marriage was part of the deal.
What
Marriage,
deal?
no, part of their purpose.
But okay,
Yeah,
part of the okay. So that's actually what I want to
to clear out,
clarify.
right?
That there is no one who was born to get married, because marriage is not purpose. Purpose is doing something for the glorification of the kingdom of heaven.
Definitely.
Yeah, so there's no let's say, let's just talk to a single lady, a single young lady, 21, 22. What are you saying to her? You are not born to get married. You can get married, or you will get married if you want to, but there is bigger things that you came here on earth to do, right?
Like what I'm saying is that marriage is not a bus stop. It's not something that you think this is it.
Yes.
Yes. And that's how we have been conditioned by culture. So you find that even for women, someone can just get married because they are thinking, if I don't get married, what is culture going to say? What is my family going to say? What is the church going to say? And these women end up getting married for the wrong reasons, right? But what I'm saying right now is that the most important thing for you as a single person is to find out your purpose.
Yes.
And once you align yourself to purpose, if marriage is part of God's plan for your life, it will come. That's it. But then if you get so obsessed that you think I just need to get married, whether I'm in purpose or not in my purpose, then the problem is once you get into that marriage, the same unhappiness you had as a single person, you're frustrated and purposeless, you will still now have two people that are purposeless and frustrated. So even if you look at our world right now, we're suffering because so many people are not living purposeful lives. So we're saying the most important thing, your goal should be to find your purpose and to glorify God in that purpose.
Yes.
And when you're walking in that purpose, for some of you, you are going to be like Paul, who are going to achieve your purpose as a single person and maximize
Let's just
it.
leave Paul out.
Yes,
Because
we
really,
won't.
my viewers really want to get married, okay?
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So yes,
These guys want to
to
get
get
married in
married.
Africa.
Yes,
But
yes.
we're telling them that pursue your purpose.
Purpose.
Marriage
Yes.
will come.
Yes,
Marriage will come,
definitely.
girls, okay?
Definitely.
Don't
Yeah.
do a Paul, all right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
a,
So,
yeah, so
yeah, yes, thank
let's
you.
just teach Paul, right? Yeah, yeah, that was his decision. But you girls, you're going to get married, but find
Decide
your purpose.
first.
Yeah, yeah. So that's our story that we're sticking to right now.
Yes, thank you.
Girls, you're going to find a personal person of yours,
Thank
but
you.
find your purpose.
First.
Not even first. You can find it. Marriage. It's not marriage versus purpose.
Right. Thank you.
These are two independent variables. You can find your purpose while you are married.
Right.
You can find your purpose while you are single.
Right. That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So just find your purpose.
Yeah.
Finding your purpose is actually much easier than finding a husband.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm talking to
That's true.
the older ladies who
Yes.
are praying and fasting for marriage. Because if you find yourself praying and fasting for marriage, it means that marriage has come late, right? Love has not been on time, right? But it will come.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Definitely.
sometimes
That's
finding your purpose can bring you your mate,
That's it.
can bring you your personal person.
That's it.
Sometimes it can.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That is so true because when you're walking in your purpose, you're walking in your divine destiny. So things just begin to align
Yes.
to you.
Divine alignment.
Yes,
Tell them about
yes,
divine alignment. I thought you were going to get to that. Okay.
So
Get to
for
that.
some people, because you're not aligned, you're not in your order, in the
Yes.
divine order that God has for you. That's why maybe marriage hasn't come. You know? So even if we look at the Bible, is it the story about Abraham looking for a wife for Isaac and Rebecca went to the well? She was in divine alignment.
Yes.
You see? So what I'm just saying is once you get into your divine order, things just begin to align, things begin to come together. And for some people, you can say maybe marriage is delayed, but it's delayed because you're not in divine alignment. But the moment you step into your purpose, you find out what God has created you to do, and you begin to do it, then things just begin to come into your life.
Things begin to fall into place.
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that the other girls who are married actually are living in purpose. It doesn't mean that. That's why I want to say these are independent variables.
Yeah.
Everyone is attacked
Yeah.
in different ways
That's true.
in their lives,
That's
disturbed
true.
by the devil. You can be disturbed by maybe the stealing of your marriage if you
Yeah.
believe that it's been stolen.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But once you get into purpose, it's like seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and everything will be added unto you. So, so stop looking for those things that are not going right in your life and just pursue your purpose. Is that
True.
it?
Yeah, definitely.
There are two most important days in your life, and the day you were born and the day that you find out your purpose.
Mhm.
Is that not it?
It is.
The one of creation groans
Yes.
for the
The
manifestation
manifestation.
of the, let's say, the daughters of God.
Mhm.
There is no creation groaning for your marriage, all right?
Mhm.
No, they are
Mm.
groaning for your manifestation,
Manifestation.
for
Yeah.
you getting into purpose,
'Cause
for you shining for His glory,
yes,
right?
definitely. I love
Yeah,
that. I love
yeah. So
that.
if you do what God sent you to do,
Mhm.
God, it's not hard for God to throw you a husband.
Not
No,
even,
it's
not
not hard.
even, not
It is not
even.
hard.
Yeah, and I think as well, no matter pressure. Yeah, because I've just seen that, especially in the church, you find that there are more women
Eh,
than men, right?
yeah.
And there are more Christian women than Christian men. So obviously, there's so much pressure for people to get married. And what happens? Women end up getting so desperate and they think, you know what? Anything is better than nothing. And what that is doing is actually reaps a lot of bad results. So I say to my sisters out there, let us take our time and focus on finding out our purpose. Let us take our time and get to know God better. And that will help us so that when the temptations come, you're strong enough, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were talking, I was just thinking, let me just say this to the sisters,
Mm.
even if you get so desperate that you'll do anything, we've gotten so desperate that we'll do anything, but we still haven't found those men. So
Mm.
maybe just pursue your purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
Pursue your purpose.
Pursue your purpose.
Just
Yeah.
pursue your purpose.
Thank you.
Do what God sent you to do. Right?
That's it.
That's right.
That's right.
So there's this fallacy that say that it's a lie
Mhm.
that we are told by our relatives and church members and whatever, these people that these evil counselors that we meet that tell you that if you start a business before you are married, you will never ever get a husband. Is that true or false, Sandra? As we close, we're running out of time. Is that true or false? Because I'm already saying it's false.
Yeah.
But what does our professional counselor
I think,
say?
yeah, because there is that myth that successful women or women that are living in their purpose are just going to demarket themselves, like they won't get married. You know, you've listened to people who say if you are a strong woman and you've got everything, then you're not going to get married. But it's actually a myth because
A lie.
it's
Let's
a
just use
lie.
the word lie because
It's
some
a
of them
lie.
sisters don't know those big words. It's a
Yeah,
lie.
it's true because there are some women that are not in purpose, that are not wealthy, but they are still not married. And there are some people who are married and are very successful and they've got beautiful marriages. And there's some people who are poor and are married, but they're just enduring their marriages. They are miserable. So I actually think successful women have a higher chance to be married because they are happy and they are living in their, especially if they are living in their purpose. Because the moment someone just gets into their purpose, they just divine alignment, as we said before, and they just radiate so much peace. And because they are already living in their purpose, they're not looking for someone to come and feel like pour into them something that they don't have. They're happy whether they are married or they are not
Look
married.
at Cindy Trim, right?
Yeah,
Cindy Trim got married at what, 50 something?
yeah,
Yeah, so it's not too late for you girls, okay? So
definitely.
just pursue purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Really, in conclusion, really, that's what I'm saying. Pursue your purpose. We'd
Definitely.
like to thank Sandra
Thank you,
for
Noah.
coming to Success Talk with us here. She was
Mm-hmm.
talking to you African women that pursue your purpose, find your purpose. The reason you are miserable is not because you don't have a man.
That's
You are miserable because you have no direction in life. You have no purpose. You are living on this earth as a seed of God, but you don't know
yeah.
that are you a tree to are you an apple tree or
Yeah,
a banana tree or a what? Go and find that out. And when you find that out, you will just see that that
yeah.
that pine tree that is supposed to be your husband is just next to where you are.
Yeah.
So pursue purpose. Sandra, you can say
Yeah.
farewell
To the
to the
ladies.
sisters and give them
Yeah.
just one
I
word of
just want to say,
wisdom for them today.
okay, thank you, Norma. I just want to say to my sisters out there, you are beautiful, you are valuable to God, you are special, you have so much worth. And that worth comes from God, it comes from within. And you don't have to get to a point where you're so desperate that you think it's going to come from a man. Because the more you're fulfilled within yourself, it's easy for you to be fulfilled even when you meet someone because you are not asking them to be your God. They are just becoming your partner. And keep praying, keep fasting, and just enjoy your life. And your marriage will come. And for those who are not going to get married, as long as you are in God's purpose and you're living your
Okay,
life,
girls, you
you're
are going to
fulfilled.
get married. All
As
right.
your
You are
mom
going to
become
get married, girls. Okay. As long as
congratulations,
you
Norma.
want it. As long as
Yes,
you want to,
yes,
you will.
yes.
Okay?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because the Lord delights in your prosperity.
It
It
is.
is written, a man shall leave his mother and father and be joined to you, my sister. And the two of you
Yes.
shall become
Come
one.
one
And
flesh.
therefore, what God has joined together, let no man shall put asunder.
Yes.
Pursue your purpose. We don't
Yes.
know whether you'll come whether before or after, but he's gonna come your man if that's what you want.
Mm.
Goodbye and God bless, sisters. Bye bye.
Thank you. Mm. Ah, yes, yeah.